Hey guys, how's it going? Honestly, I cannot think of a better way to celebrate the success of the last two videos than to just get right into it because you guys were saying to me in the last reaction video of a music video from NCT Dream that I should check out the music video Chiller as a videographer. So without further ado, let's get right into it. Actually, before I forget, make sure my closed captions are on.
We don't get to follow the rules. Yeah, we play them. Let's go. Hey, y'all ready for this? Hey, y'all ready for this? This is how we do. 뭘 고민하는데 기대버린 줄 끌리는 걸 말해. 만들어 for you. 지금은 내 편인 거네. Dream, 마이클처럼 다 moonwalking. Come on, dance, dance. 시계 바늘 내 손에 마음대로 피어버린 wave. Pulling up, say yo, what's up? 알지, 마치 신처럼. Cause this time, 그땐 같으면 저원 위를 놀아. 너무 super한 놈이다 말이 많아. 너는 홀린 채 나만 따라올 거야. 느껴봐 멋대로 feel love. Make it wild Get it Nowhere 3대 2 혼돈의 공간을 가득 채워 잘 봐봐 I'm destined Cool out don't panic 반전 같은 drama 시시한 것들을 몽땅 버려 Get your hands up Cool out don't panic 우린 여행자 자유로운지 너무나 Gonna make you want some 내 변태까지 연성 인자불가 인재로 날지 흔들려도 뭐 괜찮지 I'm good Go with it What's that sound 너무 super한 놈이라 말이 많아 너는 울린 채로 나만 따라올 거야 Nowhere I'm that chiller 혼돈의 공간을 가두는 thriller 잘 봐봐 I'm that stunner Cool don't panic 반전 같은 drama 시시한 것들을 몽땅 버려 Get your hands up Cool out don't panic 우리가 누군지 봐 It's alright 그저 사랑이면 되는 사람들이야 We get right Flipping the beat 너무 쉬운 거야 chiller Let it all go Nowhere I'm that chiller 혼돈의 공간을 가두는 thriller 잘 봐봐 I'm that stunner Cool don't panic 반전 같은 drama 시시한 것들을 몽땅 버려 Get your hands up Cool don't panic
Okay, we got a lot to talk about, guys. I like that little outro. That was cool. That was really cool. We got a lot to talk about. But I want to bring this full circle real quick because honestly, I can see now why you guys wanted me to watch this. Guys, holy crap. Holy crap. I loved it. I absolutely loved it. But let's dissect it a little. I'll give you my POV or my point of view of it. Alright, so first off, I love the intro. I think this intro is so well done. I think that is very eye-catching. It we have this thing where, and in videography and in YouTube where you want to get the attention of the viewer like within the first so many seconds or minutes, and this definitely grabs your attention. I love that right there. And then, of course, I paused this earlier, but I love this because this is kind of pays homage to the last video that I reacted to, and it was talking about Back to the Future. I am such a nerd when it comes to Back to the Future. Like, I cannot emphasize enough how much of a nerd I actually am, because growing up, I'm gonna bring this full circle. Growing up, that was one of my favorite series to watch, was Back to the Future, especially like when they went to the future, and you just saw like how things would be. Like, I just thought that was such a cool thing. But I love this. I love the fact that they did that. I think that's so cool. I like that a lot.
We don't get to follow the rules.
I love the little robot.
We play them. Let's go.
And I love that. That is one of the coolest shots. And this is something that a lot of videographers and a lot of people, if you can do that, if you can learn how to do that, you'll go far in the cinematography and videography world. You see them just come in.
We play them. Let's
It's such a cool shot, and then once you do this, like, it just
go.
I love that transition. It's such a cool transition. I loved it. Like,
Y'all ready for this? Hey, y'all ready for this? This is how we do.
that's a shot that, if you can do that just right, it can turn out very well, as you can tell. But this, I say this all the time in my videos. You have, without a shadow of doubt, I know that they didn't do that, and they didn't get that in one shot. It probably took a few different tries, but I love it. I love that camera angle right there. The camera angle right there is so cool. It's at a different angle, and it's right there. It's just it's something that when you're thinking outside the box, and whenever I make feature, like when I've done little like videos where I've had boots on the ground, I've tried to like think outside the box to really kind of capture and captivate my audience. You guys who are watching this, and I love this right here. Like, I think that's such a well done shot. And I love the fact that they had the little robot in there too. I think that's so cool. He's an adorable little robot. That's one that I really like. When I saw that, I really liked that. That's something that it's not an easy shot to get, and I'm sure that he was probably wearing a GoPro or something right there, because it's like right there on his wrist. And it's a very out of the box, thinking outside the box kind of shot, and I love those kind of shots because we've all seen plenty of music videos, whether it be with K-pop or with some of the American bands or some of the English, some of the British bands. Whatever kind of music videos you've watched, I'm sure you've seen thousands of them. But I love these kind of shots because it's thinking outside the box. It's being creative. As someone who's in the creative niche, I try to be creative with like my photography, videography, and everything. But I love this. I love the fact that it goes from that up close and personal shot to back to where he is with the whole group. Yeah, I love that. See, it's those creative shots. I think that's so well done. Like, these are shots that a lot of people don't realize pay off. It's just one of those things that, like, you wouldn't, when you're filming a music video, when you're filming any kind of a video, you don't think about these kind of shots. Well, you should, but a lot of people don't, is what I'm trying to say. They just want to get they just want to get through it, and they'll do their best, but this all goes back to storyboarding. The storyboarding is just so essential. That's another thing I really like. I love the fact that, like, I'm going to bring this actually full circle for a sec. This is something that a lot of people, myself included, didn't really know or understand. Like when I see that, you saw how the camera guy was going with the flow. He was matching their rhythm. If you do that correctly, it can flow out really well, just like this. Like what they're doing, right there. But it also reminds me of it reminds me of my first YouTube video for this channel. I still get cringed. It's still cringy to watch to this day. I thought I was being so professional and so cool. I had my DSLR. I was just like on my tripod, just like walking around like, oh, I'm so cool. But then when I went back and watched the footage, it was very shaky. And I had several friends say like, dude, you got to get a gimbal. Like there's no getting around it. Like you got to get a gimbal. And I was like, okay, how much are gimbals? And I looked on the price up like on Amazon. I was like, oh, yep, that's out of my budget. But yeah, I love those kind of shots where they can just be creative. And when the cameraman or camera woman can match the rhythm and the beat of the singers, it just flows so well. I love it.
Come on, dance, dance.
And that's such a. They just match their body language so well, and like their rhythm, and I just think that's so well done. And I love the fact that they do the zoom in and the zoom out shots. I've always been a big fan of these kind of shots. And they just right there in the middle. The camera angles are just phenomenal. And I love that. When I first saw that just a little bit ago, I was impressed. I was very impressed. Because you don't expect that kind of thing, because you have the one singer in the middle, and then all of a sudden, right there, he just zooms in on it. It's such a cool camera. And I love this, because this reminds me of the Just Dance video game. That's what this reminds me of completely, or the Dance Dance Revolution. Like I remember when I was a senior in high school, we had this in our commons area of the high school I went to. We had this Dance Dance Revolution set up for a whole week. Now I never did it because I didn't want to embarrass myself because I was just super shy back then, and I knew I probably would just get demolished. But I would sit there and watch some of these people play Dance Dance Revolution, and I was like, oh my goodness, like they can really move. But this reminds me of like the Just Dance, like from the Wii games and everything. I remember playing those games with friends like for countless hours, and I love this so much. And I love that transition there, where they go from the video game to back to the real life look. Wait. Hang on. We're going to go back a little bit. There's the droid. Is the droid now the cameraman? If that's the case, like that's creative. That's creative. Kudos to those who edited this. Like that's creative. I like that a lot. Because they're going with a futuristic kind of feel, and that's definitely a futuristic kind of feel. I think that's very cool. That's very cool. I like that a lot. And I love that camera angle right there. Like the way they move the camera, it's so well done. It just flows so well. And I bring this up a lot because honestly, guys, this kind of thing, without a shadow of a doubt, like they didn't get this in one shot. There's no way. You know, human nature really kicks in. And since these guys are like brothers, you know, I'm sure they're just... People make mistakes. People make human errors. And they trip over each other. Like, I can think of countless times when I've recorded videos or when I've done any kind of project with like a group of people. There was always a lot of screw-ups. But we just all laughed about it because we knew that we eventually would get this. And so... This is obviously they got it because this is a very well done music video. And I love that shot. When I saw that, I liked that. That's something that goes back to that creativity. I love the fact that, you know, you go from this aerial shot right there where he's just like kind of pounding down on the glass. I think that's so creative. That's such a creative shot. I love the fact, you know, you have the different devices and everything behind him, like the different tech, because I'm a tech nerd as well. But that's such a cool shot. Like, that's one that I would actually want to take a photograph of as well. Like, I would just be, you know, and it reminds me of... This is what it reminds me of. I'm gonna bring this full circle, and it's gonna sound really cheesy and cliche. I think I brought it up on a recent video. This is gonna carbon date me a little bit, but back on the MySpace days, yeah, MySpace. If you remember MySpace, make sure you tell me in the comments below. I was trying to impress a girl, and I was sick of my profile picture because it's just so basic and everything. And so I got this great and grand idea that I thought. And I got my brother's aviator glasses. I'll see if I can find a photo of it and just post it in like the community post in the communities tab of my channel so you guys can see how much of a nerd I was. And I took this photo of me like wearing the sunglasses, like trying to look all cool. When I think about that photo now, that's what this kind of reminds me of. But this is so much well presented. This is presented so much better than what I was trying to do. If I can get the words out of my mouth, like I love this a lot. I think that's so well done. And I love the fact that like the camera angles, like, you know, they're getting everyone. It's not just like just focusing on like one person because, you know, you gotta be inclusive. I always try to be inclusive if I can get the words out of my mouth to everyone. I think this is so well done. The cinematography is just out of this world. These guys are just, they're blowing my mind. And I love those kind of shots where you just kind of you're just kind of angling down and, you know, everyone's getting into it. Such a well done shot. And I love that transition. That one was cool. I thought that was creative. Whoever thought of that they were really thinking outside the box with that. Because, you know, this is something, see if I can pause it at a certain point. So, there's something I really like about this. You know, obviously, I like that's something. I would like to grab that as a photograph as well, because I love the fact that, like, you know, you can see the little droid right next to you. You can see, you know, it's in a freezer. You can see all the aesthetics behind him, but he's still the focal point. You know, that's one thing that I always try to tell people when it comes to photography, videography. You know, you got to have a focal point. This is like one of the most key parts about being successful in this industry. And I think that, you know, it's just framed right, and this would definitely be like a good, like, I don't know, like a good Facebook or Twitter X or even like a Tinder profile picture. Like, that would be such a good photo. You know, I know, yeah, I just said the Tinder word, the T word, Tinder. A lot of girls would probably be attracted to him because of that, because, you know, they'd see that and they're like, okay, well, I want to get to know this guy.
괜찮지.
Amazing. I love this kind of panorama kind of an angle. Right and I love the fact that they're doing selfies. This pays homage to the photographs that the photography videos I talk about on this channel. They're having fun. I, for one, have never been the greatest at taking like selfies with my cell phone. I always looked down, and then a few years ago, I had a girl correct me, say, like, no, you got to look up because that's going to get your best camera angle, which is true. Like, this is getting their best angle. And it's just, it just reminds me so much of so many different stories where I've seen people take selfies, where I've taken selfies of myself. And it's just, oh man, this just brings back high school memories and memories of my early 20s. Love the camera. Like, that's something that you have to know what you're doing. It all comes back to storyboarding. I talk about with Killdeer all the time. We talk about this kind of stuff, like when it comes to like making music videos and making videos in general. Like, you gotta have a plan, you gotta have storyboarding. You look at any of the famous movies, music videos, TV shows, or even like a video game. Like, they all have storyboards. They all have storyboards for a reason, because they don't want to just go like with a wing and a prayer, or like by the seat of their pants. They want to plan this out. The directors and the cinematographers and everyone on there, including the band members, they talk this out and say, okay, this is what we should do, and then other people will try and say, like, well, maybe we should take it this way instead. And so they'll try it in different angles and different ways. And as you can see, like, this was the final cut, and it was actually really well done. And again, it goes back to I love the camera angles, how they're able to just right here, right here, able to do that. So well. See, that's a really good transition. I love that transition, where you go from like the just dance characters to real life again. Oh, I just saw something I really like about this. And that is creative. You have the dancers right here, but then you have the video game version of them right here. That is very cool. I like that a lot. Man, I like that. I like that a lot. That's amazing to me. That's so cool. I like that a lot. I gotta watch it again just because it's so creative. Like, and I love the fact that it's basically like, it looks like an action figure set. That's what I look like about it, because it just reminds me of my childhood. With playing. You go down the toy aisle at like Walmart or at like Target, and you see those kinds of things. And I love the fact that like they pay homage to that kind of stuff. Like, when I see this right here, like wherever it is, like wherever my hands are right now, I think about my childhood, and there was always those ones with the little insert that you could like press the button and say "Try me," and that's what this reminds me of. I love that, where you can just see them in the background. That's such a cool aesthetic shot. I really like that, where you can see them in the background, but the video game version of them is still the focal point. Same with the little droid. I think that's very creative. I like that a lot. And see, that's a creative shot. Like, when you You know, they're right here getting into it. And where they're zoomed in, and then they're looking down at them, and that's such a cool thing. Where they just get into it, and then they zoom out. Wait. Did I just notice? I think I just noticed something. And this was a super... I don't know why I didn't see this before. This is a Back to the Future reference right here, and I don't know why I didn't see this. Are they on a hoverboard? Are they riding on a hoverboard? They are! Whoa, that's cool. That is so cool. That's creative. Ah, man. Man, I like that a lot. That's a cool Easter egg. That's a really cool Easter egg. That's creative. You don't really see that too much. Yeah, that's definitely a hoverboard. That's so cool. That's so cool. Flipping the beat. And that's such a cool shot where you see him disappearing and he's gonna reappear here in a bit. I think that's such a cool, like, video representation, or like a little bit of a, you know, obviously I know it's CGI, I get that, but it's so creative on the editing team's side of this. And, you know, it goes back to storyboarding. You know, they planned that out where they're like, well, let's have him disappear and he's gonna reappear here in a little bit. Let it all go. No man's I'm that killer. And I love the fact that they just have different ways where, like, when it comes to transitions, you know, they're all in white right here. Right? They have the lever where, and then all of a sudden they're in these different clothing and they're back in a different scenario. I think that's such a cool transition. I like that transition a lot. That is so cool. I love the fact that they're on a hoverboard. I think that is amazing. Wow. And I love that. I love that right there. I love that little outro, that chiller. I think that's so cool. Wow. Well, guys, you left me speechless, which is pretty hard to do. I don't get speechless very often. I definitely know why you guys wanted me to watch and react to this as a videographer. Wow. Wow. I'm impressed. I am thoroughly impressed. If you guys have any other suggestions from this group or any other group that you want me to react to, make sure you tell me in the comments below. And I gotta ask you this. Did you think that was creative of them to do the hoverboard, that they're riding on the hoverboard? Because I think that was such a cool, creative thing to do. That's something that you don't see. You know, a lot of music videos I've seen in the past so many years, they don't go to all that creativity. Like some of them, I take that back. Some of them do, but a lot of them don't. They do, you know, I can think of artists that do get creative in their music videos, but I can also think of artists that just say, let's just shoot the music video and just go with the flow and just make it look realistic and try to make it look creative but realistic at the same time. But this was amazing. You guys left me speechless. So good job. I'm impressed. I have no words. Honestly, guys, this was amazing. This was absolutely amazing. And I think this has become one of my favorite songs of all time now, because it's the rhythm of it, the flow of it, the words, and of course the paying homage to Back to the Future. Like, I'm a big Back to the Future fan. I actually tried to create my own version of myself, and with the Marty McFly kind of like car scene where he's like, you know, looking at his watch. But I couldn't do it through AI because it was going to be copyright problems and everything. And obviously AI, you know, ChatGPT and everything, they don't want to get you as a creator in trouble. But yeah, You guys left me speechless. So, good job. Honestly, guys, this was fun. This was a lot of fun. You know, there's so much that I cannot wait to even talk to and react to you with you guys about, because honestly, I'm glad to be back. I am so glad to be back. And again, if you have any recommendations of like music videos or other stuff you want me to react to as like a videographer or even as just as a photographer, make sure you tell me in the comments below, because I'm always open to suggestions. But on that note, guys, I will see you in the next video.